Welcome back to the Titanium Hanger. This is Mike, and today I'm coming at you with the weekly news and review for January 8th, 2023. We got some good Transformers news. Bit of light week on Transformers, but that's okay. There's some interesting turtle news we'll talk about. I actually have a bit to say about these. We got Wave 5 of the G.I. Joe Super 7 reaction figures. Gotta show them. We got Ramen toy updates, several of their projects they have going on right now. Gonna get into some of the details on that. Very, very, very little Star Wars news, but we'll talk about that coming up. Okay, so starting out with what's new at Show Z. Well, actually what's on sale at Show Z right now. So this is the Mastermind Creations R36C Magna, R36, 35C, 36C Inventa Skylinks. This thing is pretty cool. It's on sale for $250. If you're interested in this, go over there and grab yourself one. Also on sale right now for $75 is the fourth party FL01 Nero Galvatron. This is oversized version of the Unique Toys one, so you can see that the oversized one's on the left, Unique Toys is on the right. Pretty interesting. I always like the oversized stuff. It's always kind of cool. It's kind of fun to see. Bigger is better. And how big is it? I think it's like 12.2 inches tall for $75. And I like talking about stuff like this. I like combiners when you can buy them as a set and you don't got to piece them together. So here's the set of the Magic Square MS B34 Minister Highway in stock. It's Overlord. Set of 5, $190. So yes, for a Legend scale, it's a little pricey, but it's a very, very nice representation, and probably around the same price if you're tracking down all of the ones you want to get the Hasbro version. And yeah, pretty cool. Probably a little bit better than the Hasbro version. Remember, we go to Show Z, support your favorite reviewer, Titanium Hanger, TH in the support your reviewer. So this week we got better pictures of the Star Toys Blitzwing, which I think is going to be pretty cool. Pretty interesting. So some of the information is, this is supposed to be due out at the end of January. So it said end of January 31st. I don't know if it's going to hit that or not, but people are saying that this is a prototype, but I actually think it's more or less a production sample. It's already got the box. Looks like it's pretty far along, and it doesn't really look like it's got a lot to go. So hopefully this does come out pretty soon, and we're not waiting forever for it, but it does look really good with different kind of angles, articulation, all that kind of stuff. The things I did not like about it, I actually looked up, and they are toon accurate. Like the upper thighs, I mean, I didn't care for that, but then knowing that it's 100% toon accurate makes me think, well, you know, that's just part of the game, and they're matching it perfectly. Here's the tank mode, which I think looks really good. Now, this is not a render, and this isn't the grayscale. This is what it's going to look like when you actually get it in hand. I like those pictures so much more. We got to get an idea how it's going to look in hand better than just renders and grayscale and all that kind of stuff. And here it is in its jet mode, which really does feel a lot like the original toy, and of course like the animation quite a bit. Looking really good overall. So far, I mean, I'm really feeling this is going to be the best contender for a Blitzwing on the Masterpiece scale. And I look forward to getting it in hand, taking a look at it, reviewing it, comparing it to old Ditka. Which one I think looks better in hand. That's different than pictures, trust me. There's more pictures of Magic Square's MS02B Dark Lord. And kind of showing off the articulation. We sort of know what we're getting already because of the first one that was out, but now they're showing more pictures of this, promoting it, and of course it does look pretty good. Now, I do have the KO of the Takara, and where I think this one might shine over that one is the alt mode. The alt mode does look pretty good, maintaining the stripe in this one. I don't remember if the regular one has stripe yet or not. I don't have mine yet, but the alt mode does look pretty good. Looks like you'd pretty much want. And then here's some crazy extreme articulation that you can achieve with Magic Square and that crazy midsection joint they have. Oddly enough, their Meteorite doesn't have the crazy ab crunch like every other figure. It's weird. It's the strangest thing. We'll be talking about that one in a couple of days. So the $300 Kid Concepts VF1S God of Flame. Well, some places are charging almost $500 for this guy, which I thought was kind of crazy. But anything that's sort of Robotech and sort of modern goes for super high money. But this is a much, much smaller version than even the original G1, meaning that it's much, much smaller. I do think they said it was going to be 7.5 inches, something along those lines. But for the price, it looks really cool. It's very interesting. Just my mind's still blown by the price point of this thing, but it is going to have some die-cast in it and stuff like that, so it is going to be very high premium, high-end figure. But this really stands out exactly how big it is. This is a great picture right here. So we got more pictures of Kang Toys Chow CT015P Ferocious Golden, the golden version here, which still looks pretty cool. So we got it in all modes. So we're going to look at it in the robot mode, and then we're going to see it in the alt mode here, and that still looks pretty cool, pretty good overall. And so with the gold, I'm not sure how limited the gold was. I know that there was something that was supposed to be just like 1 or 2 made, but I don't think that's this release. And then here we go with the arm mode, and so I'm supposed to be getting another Kang Toys to review. I'll be taking a look at another Kang Toys figure for this set pretty soon. I look forward to that. Looking up the price on this, it looks like about $145 if you're getting this guy. Okay, so somebody by the name of Miller Time, or they go by Miller Time, has all 5 of these different trail breakers. So I think I got all this down pat. From the left is Bad Cube, then you've got Fans Toys, in the middle is Takara, then X-Transbots, then on the right is the MMC version. Recognize that lower legs from my MMC hoist. Now, looking at all of these, you can just get a good look at this and decide which one of these you like the best and go after. It's that simple. Just look at them all and say, which one do I like the most? And that's what I want to go after. I love these types of comparison shots, comparisons side by side, so you know height and size and all the different variations to them. And so with that, fun picture here. Okay, so we've got more pictures of the Like Toys version of Alpha Trion, and I think it does look pretty good. I think one of the plans that they have for this is to do full-on production after they're done, but this still looks great. If this is 3D printed, I'm not really sure if this one's 3D printed. They started the production on it or not, but that was the plan at one point in time. Does look fantastic, and as a masterpiece scale representation, it does scale perfectly with your masterpiece MP44 or pretty much any of the primes that are in that 10-inch scale prime, 9-inch scale prime. But he does look fantastic overall. Quite a bit of articulation with him, and you can store his weapons and accessories on his back. That's something I didn't know about it, and I think that's really cool. It's pretty interesting. And so with that, of course, you can find Like Toys on Facebook. So there are pictures of the New Age Omega Supreme they're making. Now, it's called the H53 Gabriel, just like DX9 Gabriel, but also the pictures are labeled Michael. So, not really sure which name they're going to go with until I start seeing the pre-orders popping up, which I haven't seen yet, but maybe some places have it. I haven't checked everywhere. But it does look really good. Looks a lot like the DX9. So maybe there's some sort of something going on DX9 and the New Age. I've always heard that, but I didn't never know it for sure. But still, it does look fantastic overall. Don't know that Panko Toys version. I don't know how that's going to pan out, but that one is a pretty reasonably priced at $75. I'm wondering how expensive this is going to be. A lot of people are saying it's much, much bigger than the rest of, or anything else that New Age has made. So the back of it looks pretty clean, looks pretty good overall. That is definitely Omega Supreme, super G1 feels going on right there. And then, of course, the alt mode. The alt mode works very well. And so I would wonder how to incorporate this into my display. I don't know if I could incorporate the alt mode into my display, but that would be something I'd probably like to do. I probably would, but it does look really good overall. Fantastic. Kind of exciting. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing, well, first off, the price, and then second off, how it operates, which is probably similar to all the other ones. So we got pictures of the metallic Magic Square version of Sideswipe. Now, I had the original mold, and it's pretty good. I actually ended up choosing the McFans Toys version over it, which they are not the same, by the way. The McFans Toys version and the Magic Square are different molds, and this looks really good in metallic. I admit I love the way this looks in metallic, and I like the way this looks better than the first one. And then here it is in his alt mode, and I'm not sure if you could wiggle it around and make it tighten up just a little bit better than that, but still not a bad looking Countach overall. But Magic Square metallic version probably won't last very long, so if you want one of these, snag them. They're not very expensive, but they be expensive on the aftermarket as an aftermarket. Whoa. So starting out with the mainline Hasbro type news, this is the Studio Series Leader Scourge for the movies. Rise of the Beast. So that's some of the new stuff coming out. Is this the Scourge? Probably is, I guess. But anyhow, it's hard to make out much of anything with this picture, and interesting to see what it looks like in like a real pose and all the modes, all that kind of stuff. So, but you know, these pictures somehow leak, and then shortly after we get real pictures. So look forward to the real pictures. All right, so we are getting reports that the Starscream for the Retro series, which is basically a G1 figure repainted to look like it's in the 86 movie, and so, or just repainted to look a lot better, like a lot better version. This is supposedly showing up at US retail, and you can order it on the Walmart site, allegedly pre-order it. But I've been seeing this a lot. I've been seeing a release date for across multiple toy lines, January 13th. So something, I guess, is happening January 13th. There's a lot of G.I. Joes that are supposed to be available on January 13th. There's a lot of other stuff available, supposedly available on January 13th. I think the Dungeons & Dragons stuff that's from Target, a lot of Target stuff supposed to be available on January 13th. We'll see if it actually happens. But anyway, it's supposed to be January 13th release on most of this stuff, including this guy. We saw this before. This is the Retro Hound that is just like the Retro Starscream, and this is called Retro 3. So Hot Rod, Starscream, then Hound, then we get Retro number 4. Retro number 4 is unknown. We don't know what it is. So there's going to be more of these. So it is kind of cool. I am kind of interested in this. I would have liked to have had just a standard Hound in the actual original packaging, but they don't like plastic anymore, so and that causes problems. Do you have a Hound in there? Do you have Starscream in there? Or do you have another Hot Rod? Who knows? But anyhow, it's still pretty interesting and exciting to see who's the fourth character. But you got to kind of stop and think, what have they released in the past that's G1? Is it a blaster? Is it a blaster? Is it a Soundwave? Is it one of those? Who knows? So we got the first in-hand looks at the Crosscut. That's going to be Legacy Evolution Deluxe version of Crosscut. And I never even picked up the Skids, which it looks like a pretty good mold to me. And so overall, I think it looks pretty good. Looks pretty cool. And so kind of the same thing Takara did with the Masterpiece line, giving us all of these other color variation of this mold. And what else are they going to do with that mold unless they use it? But all mode, and this is what it looks like. You got all this fun stuff that you can have weapon storage. I'm sure you can put those things on the side too. Might look a little better on the side, who knows. But you probably have to hang one of those things off the back end. Still, it's a nice looking mold, nice looking figure, and it really does sort of match. Massive, massive upgrade to the G1. Rise of the Beast, Cheetor, first in-hand images here. And the thing I want to say about this is that if you've already got yourself a Cheetor, which one would you like better? Obviously, people who collect Beast Wars want the one that looks most like the Beast Wars cartoon, but then this is coming out for Rise of the Beast. I'm curious how popular this will be. Any of these that have already been made in the other, like Kingdom or whatever, have come out, would people be wanting to buy the other one? I'm just curious how well these sell. Here's the alt mode, and it kind of feels like Cheetor kind of feels like a Bumblebee. Maybe you could say Rat Trap's like Bumblebee, but they kind of treat him like Bumblebee, and you get quite a few different iterations of him every go-around. So it seems like every time they put out another sort of Beast Wars type of line, you're going to get another Cheetor. And I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks pretty cool. Where's his tail? Oh, it's hanging down low. And what's out at retail? Well, we've got some of the Earthspark stuff showing up. I think the Optimus Prime showed up around here. So I don't know for sure because I didn't take a picture of it and I really didn't pay much attention to it. I was actually kind of interested in some other stuff when I was at the store and I should have taken some pictures, but I didn't. But anyhow, it's starting to show up and really I don't know how many collectors would be interested in this, but hopefully the kids get into it. Okay, so getting into some other news other than Transformers. There wasn't much this week along the Transformers line, but some other good news. Phantom Foil is up for pre-order at ramentoy.com. Get in there and get that thing pre-ordered if you're interested in this. I really like that we're getting Modern Centurions, and I like that we're getting some version of unreleased weapon systems. I would have preferred them in the retro scale, meaning vintage Kenner scale, but I'll take it the way we can get it. Evidently, there's not enough demand in the world for Kenner scale, so we got to go smaller scale. And so with that, I definitely got my order in on this guy. I look forward to taking a look at this weapon system and pretty much anything else coming out for that. Also, update here is the 1/12th scale Maverick coming soon in 2023. So there's a little bit more along the line. Here's some more pictures of the Maverick. And if you know, do you know what Maverick is? It's Top Gun. Top Gun seems to be one of the top movies of 2022. And so now we're going to be in 2023 getting an actual figure of this. So it's pretty cool, looking pretty good. I don't have pricing. Probably at the $100 price point and 60 or so, 60 something, 69 if you order it early. But I don't know price yet. I'm just guessing. Accurate head sculpt removable helmet with retractable visor, oxygen hose articulator, removable G-suit, and then authentic tempo printing of insignia patches, removable aviator glasses, optional hands, and salute fist and hand grabbing helmet. We got more pictures of their Marshal, and so this shows kind of like a removable cape for him, which is interesting. Now, they haven't decided the materials on the cape yet. I think some of the questions were, would you consider making it soft goods? They're going to look into the soft goods. Would be cool if it was soft goods. Would be cool if it had bendy wire in it. So that would be super next level to have your Bravestar-ish Marshal with something like that, like a cape with bendy wire in it. It'd be something we haven't had before. Obviously, we haven't had a second Bravestar ever made in the world, so we've just got the original and maybe some KOs floating around out there. But here it is from the back. Looks phenomenal. It's just going to blow away what Mattel did, 35 years ago or something like that. And so, yeah, looking fantastic. Real quick, we've got a side view of him also. So, still in the early stages, planning, development, all that kind of stuff. I do like the holster for his gun there, so that's pretty cool too. I think it's called a neutral laser blaster. Yeah, and it's got the top and the bottom are about the same size, so you got the strange looking holster to match the strange looking neutral blaster. And in the world of Motu-ish, so there's an alternate head sculpt for your movie He-Man Mattel's putting out. Now, they haven't put out pre-orders for this just yet because they want to get in hand. They want in hand to have the Mattel figure so they can match the skin tone of the face to the figure accurately and properly. So that's just one of the things. One of the things they learned from the very first run of the 80s Commander Centurions, that they didn't show the faces once they were done. It was just with helmets on, and so that caused an uproar. So now they're being really careful to show exactly what it's going to look like, so you know what you're going to get, which is a good thing. Now, you can order one, you'll be able to order one face for $15, and then the other face, it'll be like a 2-pack, and then that's probably going to be cheaper, so maybe $25, I don't know. And then there's a third face for an Origins, so I don't know anything about that just yet. Looking forward to seeing that. Okay, staying in the world of Masters of the Universe, this Too Bad figure looks amazing. This is probably going to be one of the best figures they put out in this line with the new Eternia Too Bad. So for whatever reason, people were thinking it was going to be a Target exclusive. I never thought that. I never heard that from anything until now. Recently, everyone's saying they were thinking it was a Target exclusive, but BBTS and Entertainment Earth are supposed to be having that up for pre-order also, and so it should be a general wide release. I had never heard it was a Target exclusive, but I guess I should put it out there in case there was any confusion that anyone else had heard, that it's going to be at least BBTS Entertainment Earth, but I always thought it was going to be a wide release. But here's another issue with Target clearancing out a lot of their Masterverse stuff, and with Walmart up clearancing some, but probably going to clearance a lot too. It really is scary trying to find these at retail going forward. Okay, so Super 7 Munsters Reaction Figures Wave 2. I believe the first wave was these 3 figures in color. Now we get Wave 2's these 3 figures in black and white. Maybe I'm misunderstanding. I just did a quick search and I see only these 3 figures in Wave 1. Maybe I'm missing a couple. But still, with that, I'm not sure how excited I'd be if Wave 2 is just black and white repaints of what Wave 1 was or what was in Wave 1. Kind of strange to me, but anyway, still pretty cool, pretty interesting, and I guess I missed all of Wave 1 of Munsters, so I think this looks really cool, but I'd prefer the ones in color, or what do they call that? Technicolor? Alright, so we've got G.I. Joe Wave 5. And it looks to be a pretty interesting, pretty cool wave. Some repaints in here. So, Duke and Snake Eyes from the Vines of Evil arc. Then there's Mutton Junkyard, which really cool. We knew we were going to get that because they had some sort of a satire, whatever figure made before. I'm not exactly sure what you want to call that. Tomax and Zaymon, a red laser round out the wave. And there's also a G.I. Joe MP, and then there is a Cobra Trooper, and some pretty cool stuff in here. Now, no, a lot of people don't like this reaction line. I pick and choose what I get. I am getting quite a bit of the Joe stuff because it does sort of mix really well with your vintage background characters or whatever. They look good, in my opinion, and they match the cartoon. But Princess Bride, I don't know if you're interested in that, but that's supposed to be coming this summer. And they're sort of hinting or teasing at something called The Weirdest. So I don't know what that is. Is that their own line, or is that going to be something that we already have seen in the past, but Super 7's making it? So, jumping quickly into some Batman world here, some DC Universe with Todd McFarlane. So there is a new wave, and pre-orders are live, and you get 4 different figures with this. You get Catwoman, the Batman Nightfall, then you get Joker from Infinite Frontier. There's Mr. Freeze from Victory Fries, which I like the Mr. Freeze. I'm not going to lie about that at all. And of course you get Batman, a Hush Batman, which that Batman does look really cool. I'm not going to lie. It's a nice looking Batman. And Mr. Freeze is sold out on BBTS. I couldn't believe that. I heard about that and I was like, let me check. Yep, sold out. So that's probably going to be a hard one to get because he does look that cool and I'm pretty excited for him. Also, when it comes to superpowers, I think the next wave is starting to show up at Walmart. So I've been hearing about some of them showing up, like the Wonder Woman and stuff like that. So Wonder Woman, and it is Nightwing and Deathstroke. So that wave, look for it. Which is not really in waves. I think they come in individual case packs, right? Okay, so getting into some Turtles news, there's some new 6-inch TMNT Elite figures from Playmates. I haven't seen the price on these just yet, but they look pretty good overall. So it's almost like I've got the NECA that I think is the best in my opinion, but then you get into Playmates, which are okay, but like ginormous, even for a 7-inch, 6 or 7-inch scale. And then now they're doing something new. Now I bet these are going to be better than what we've had at retail before, but anyhow, looking pretty cool. Here is the Shredder that's coming out, which kind of looks a little... I think that the better options would be Super 7 or NECA, looking at this. And this is probably a step above, though, the Best Aches In, Worst Aches In, whatever that company's called, but this is definitely... hopefully it's cheap. Hope it's cheap. Speaking of cheap, we got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1/12 collective box set by Mezco for $400. So, here's what I got to say about this. they're probably not going to make very many of these. It's going to be a low production run, like real low. They're going to stand 6.5 inch tall, and they're going to come with just a slew of accessories. So with that, I want to say that I'm not in on this, and for like $100 a figure, it doesn't entice me. But to rebuy like a fourth turtle collection just doesn't excite me. But you know what? It excites hardcore turtle collectors. They're going to be excited for this, but I'm passing on it definitely for $400. But that's something that there's good and bad points to that. You get it all at once. You got to wait to build your team. But that's a big chunk of change for 4 turtles that you probably have 8 different versions of the same turtles. So January 11th, I believe that is going to be a Wednesday. January 11th, there's going to be a Hasbro Pulse live stream about Indiana Jones, and let me say I hope they've got something to show us. I mean, please show us something. So with that, my expectation, we need to see, obviously, pre-orders up for the rest of Wave 1. What are we going to see in Wave 2 for the 6-inch scale? And then what else they can do with the retro line? How many other figures? Maybe 4-6 figures for the retro line. And then the exclusive Indiana Jones where he's in the white jacket. So all that stuff needs to be covered in there. And they'll probably only cover a third, which is the sad part. Which is really, really the sad part. That this franchise could do well if they did it right, and I hope they do. We'll find out January 11th. Quick update to my Diana that was packed in with Hank. First off, this would have never happened if they had regular packaging and not the closed box packaging. And that's what the whole video was about. But I did contact Hasbro, and I will give them some pluses here. They're going to send me a Hank figure, and they're going to send me a Bobby and Uni because they were missing the 12-sided die. So they can't send just the die, so they're going to send me those. They're new enough that they could still send me the product. And I'm going to do an unboxing here on the channel to see what's really in those boxes. I just got my fingers crossed I get what I ordered or paid for or what I wanted in the first place. I got my fingers crossed. Finally, into some Star Wars news. If you ordered the Cassian Andor whatever mission, then it should start to arrive, start to show up. So here's a couple of my friends that still collect Star Wars that still hang in there. They say that they're surprised there's not more Andor product. And I tell them I'm not, because I've got 3 or 4 Andors I got for 3 cents at Walmart. I'm not shocked at all. Back in the day. And, also got the Jen Ursos for 3 cents. So I'm not shocked that they're not wanting to put a ton of Andor stuff out there. But at the same time, they only want to put stuff out there if there's media. But then they're kind of probably still dealing with a ton of overstock from the Obi-Wan series. So that's kind of a challenge. A lot of people love the Andor series. And I think it was good for a few different aspects of it. Were really good. And so with that, the Andor series is kind of a slow burn, slow start, and a little bit more fun at the end. And so with that, I still don't find myself wanting to buy product from it, though. I didn't pre-order this, and I might grab it on sale. Alright, so what little Andor stuff there is out there. This is the Vintage Collection Cassian and Veil in hand. So with that, that's the Vintage Collection figures. Personally, I think Star Wars should be thriving in 3.75 4-inch scale versus the 6-inch scale. I think the 6-inch scale is pretty much run its course, and that's just the way I feel. And let's just focus on 3.75-inch scale and move forward. Plus, you can actually afford to buy vehicles and stuff. But, I mean, that's just my thoughts. One other thing that hurts Star Wars is multiple different scales. Okay, so the Stan Solo Creations Ubrikian 9000 speeder. So this is, I think, something that was right outside the cantina or something along those lines. This speeder, I do remember seeing this in the Star Wars movie, and it does look really good. And everything I've gotten from Stan Solo is super high quality. I don't talk about it so much just because I don't have so much time to make videos about all that kind of stuff, but it is really good. It does open up, the roof opens up. It's cool kind of stuff like this that's exciting, that I wish Hasbro would go this deep and do stuff like this, but they don't. And I don't know the price point on it. I didn't really check, but it's stuff like this that get me excited. It's why I support like the Ramen toys that are out there. I do get excited about Super 7 stuff that's getting made. I do get excited about stuff like this. So let me know what you think about this week's weekly news in review. What else is going on out there that's really cool that I missed? So I'd really like to know. Like and subscribe, and Tony your Banger out.